Ranger Zickle. They say there are no dumb questions, but why do I still feel dumb asking it? Also, is that a wall behind you? All right, before I dive into all of your comments, let's give a huge shout out to Audible for working with us again on this video. I just finished listening to the audiobook, The Power of Bad. It talks about how the negativity bias or the negativity effect really rules our brains, where we put way too much emphasis on the bad and how it can truly harm us. But at the same time, how can we harness that power of bad and make it work for us? I mean, it works for relationships, politics, even shopping decisions. I truly recommend this as a good listen. Click the link down below to sign up, audible.com/Dr. Mike, or text the number 500-500 Dr. Mike as well. Remember, doctor is spelled out. For that, you're gonna get a 30-day trial, 1 free Audible book a month, and 2 Audible originals. It's a no-brainer. Let's get to these comments. Ginger, next time you do answering your medical questions, could you please tell me why I can feel an invisible pair of glasses on my face? Is it because you normally wear glasses and you think yours are still on? I need more. Ginger, give me more. Ginger, Tetris is me game. I don't know why I put a little lisp on there. Question, why do your taste buds go crazy when you're sick? Ooh, I don't think it's so much your taste buds. I think when you're sick, your nose gets congested, so you can't smell properly. And a big factor in how you perceive taste comes from your ability to smell foods. So when your nose is congested and you aren't properly smelling the foods, you also can't taste them well. I'm sure there's also something to be said about the inflammation that's going on in the back of your throat, and your tonsils. That could potentially also cause a problem for you and your taste buds, maybe make them a little bit less sensitive. And also, if you have a congested nose, you're more likely to mouth breathe at night, which dries everything up, can also affect your taste buds. Multifactorial answer? Naranjo. Question to Dr. Mike. Is it true that it is better for your digestion if you don't drink while eating? I have not seen this substantiated. I actually enjoy drinking while I'm eating, and I don't mean drinking alcohol, I mean drinking liquids like water. I feel like it helps me move the food along. I think it's something we recommend as doctors. Also, drinking water will actually expand your stomach and make you feel fuller, so maybe encourage you to eat less. Vichy Price. Okay, here's my question. How are you a doctor with a strong gag reflex? Explain. I don't know. I've managed to control it. It's tough, but with time you gain experience and you learn how to meditate away your fears and uncomfortableness. Megan Doden, hard-hitting question. That's the only kind of questions I want on my responding to comment section. What does Bear's diet look like? What is your favorite brand of dog food? And what is his favorite treat? What is his cheat snack? First of all, Bear is an absolute vacuum cleaner. Whatever I put in front of him, he just goes. Sometimes I feel like he forgets to swallow because, he forgets to chew. Recently, his favorite snack has been lamb ears. But something that I always do is I always give Bear carrots. He loves chewing on carrots. They're healthy, safe for dogs, and I give him like 4 or 5 baby carrots and he's like the happiest noof in the world. Tom Hutch Videos 96. Can chest compressions stop the heart if the heart is already beating? First of all, I'll answer this question in a different way, not the way you probably wanted it. Don't do chest compressions if someone's heart's beating. The purpose of doing chest compressions is when the heart's not beating. I guess you're asking if you aren't sure if the heart's beating. Well, look, if the person's completely unconscious and they're not breathing, odds are their heart's not beating. So go ahead and do chest compressions. Call for help first, of course. Janine Fernando, what's your opinion on split sleeping, 2 to 3 hours in the morning, 5 to 6 in the evening? Is it healthy? I don't like it. Yes, there is some benefit to taking a little siesta when your circadian rhythm dips in the midday phase. But I think split sleeping like that, I don't see evidence for it. What I see evidence for is sleeping 7 to 9 hours of consistent, steady sleep of the same time at night. And then if you need to, taking a short 15 to 30 minute nap in the middle of the day when your circadian rhythm takes a little dip around 1, 2 p.m. Now we just got to get those napping pods in all our offices. Then we'll be all set and actually get our bosses to allow us to do the nap. Arrow Jade. I have a very random and interesting question. Is the study of dreams and how they work a profession on its own? I don't know if it's a profession on its own, but I know there are certain psychologists and even psychiatrists who do study the interpretation of dreams. There's definitely like a name to this. Study of dreams. I can learn something too in this video. It's called honorology. Honorology. The study of honorology can be distinguished from dream interpretation in that the aim is to quantitatively study the process of dreams instead of analyzing the meaning. Merker-Ermer. Serious question. If EKG means electrocardiogram, then wouldn't it be ECG? It actually is ECG. EKG is sort of the old school name from the German definition, electrocardiogram. It was with a K, but now we do call it an ECG. In fact, when I order on my computer, I can either put EKG or ECG. Doesn't really matter. See, ECG. So we do call it ECG. Greg Lytle. Is picking your nose bad outside of the risk of spreading germs, etc.? Greg, this is a great question. A lot of people pick their nose. I think I've seen studies go up as high as 90% of individuals at one point in time pick their nose. And I'm sure it's more than that. They're probably just that last person's being, I don't want to tell anybody. There are issues when you pick your nose. First and foremost, trauma. The inside of your nose is more sensitive than the outside of your nose. So by going inside and there, picking in there, especially with your fingernails, cause trauma, cause nosebleeds, especially recurrent nosebleeds, because it takes forever for that area to properly heal. On top of it, your fingers, AKA your digits, are the dirtiest, meaning the most bacteria and viruses live on these bad boys. So when you're putting them in your nose where your mucous membranes are, that's a surefire way to get sick. In fact, one of the biggest things I recommend for people to avoid catching the flu is to wash their hands, A, and then B, to not touch their face. It means going in the nose. One of the most important methods to break a habit like nose picking, if you just have a habit and you're not compulsive in doing it, put something on your finger like a bandage that you use primarily to pick your nostril. Because when you do it, you're gonna remind yourself that, oh, I shouldn't be doing it. Because otherwise it can become really easy to just keep doing it. And please, don't go from the nose to the mouth after. Grovia Springham. If this old lady can run her first half at 55, you can do it. 2 hours is not out of the question for a healthy young guy. Good luck, you got this. I appreciate the support, Grovia, and seriously, amazing job doing a half marathon at 55. Amazing job doing a half marathon, period. Forget about your age. If you haven't seen this, I'm gonna link it down below. Nike and I have teamed up to try out one of their new running sneakers, and I'm gonna be running in the LA 13.1 half marathon in a month and a half. And I'm training right now, but it's a struggle. I'm essentially going from being a sprinter to a half marathon runner in like 10 weeks. For someone who's never ran long distance, that's really tough. And I'm 200 pounds. These thick thighs save lives, but hold me back when it comes to running marathon, you jive? Acareds. Is it possible that one day medicine will not be effective anymore since diseases like the flu keep evolving and getting stronger? The flu does not necessarily get stronger. It just continually evolves in order to keep surviving. That's what sort of nature's all about. That's how we came to be. There will be certain medications that will become less useful, yes. But at the same time, we'll create new medications. We'll learn new methods of fighting off viruses and bacteria. In fact, one of the main reasons why we recommend to not overuse antibiotics is to decrease this resistance that's forming. I have patients that I've treated in the hospital that they have bacteria that's resistant to every kind of antibiotic that I can offer them. That's called a multi-drug resistant organism, and that's quite dangerous. We don't want these superbugs anywhere near us. So let's not take antibiotics when we don't need them. When doctors ask about if you've been sexually active, what counts for medical purposes? Anything involving the genital region should count. If it doesn't, but you still think it does, say it. There's no harm. More information is always better when it comes to doctor's visits. LA Anonymous. Can you get a gallstone as a result of stress after you lost your job, had a loved one pass, etc.? Thanks for answering. Love your channel. Thanks for the love. You can get a gallstone anytime. A lot of times we don't even have a good reason as to why they happen. Obviously, eating an unhealthy diet full of fried, fatty foods is not ideal. And when one is stressed, you tend to eat more of those types of foods, so that can be a trigger. But in general, we don't have great evidence as to why it happened in that specific moment. The same way that, when you get a cold or the flu, you can ask me all you want, why did I get it? I don't have an answer. It just happens. The Lorax. Mike, there's no such thing as a dumb question. Me, how much feet are in 7 minutes? Yes or no? No. I don't know why, but it's no. Think about that, Lorax. Black and white. I have a question. How do I send fan art to Dr. Mike? P.O. Box, baby, which I haven't checked in a while. I probably should. It's listed down below. It says, please send me stuff. Domagoj Lovasevic. Since higher body temperature is a good thing when fighting viruses, at what temperature should you take medicine to lower it? There's no specific temperature where there's like a cutoff. If you're becoming really uncomfortable, you can't sleep and rest and recover, that could also be an indication to do it. In general, if I have a low fever, 100.5 to 102.5, I tend to stick it out as much as I can, just because that will help my body fight off the infection a little bit better. But again, if you're uncomfortable, you might need to take something. Ronnie.bm. Here's a question. Do you wax your hands or something? Wax my hands? No, I do not wax my hands. That would be strange. Cells at Work is finally back after my copyright challenge, so click here to check it out. If you want me to do a second episode, definitely let me know while staying happy and healthy.